We're at the R.E.Olds Museum in Lansing, Michigan, doing a fall color tour with the car club.
That's nice.
So if you had a Fiero or something, probably had one of these in it. Looks like it has balance shafts in it. Throttle body, fuel injection. No, it's got a timing chain too, like the V8s. Yep, plastic timing gear. Trying light just reflects on everything in here. This is a 49 Rocket. The oilers on the generator. There's probably one on the distributor somewhere too, but I don't. It's usually facing the front of the engine. Look at this. How cool is this? I love this old test equipment. Triple two barrels. Yeah, those still have the factory original finish. I don't think this, I think this is an old stock engine. Yeah, I don't think that engine's ever been run. How neat. NASCAR V8. He used to have boxes of parts like this with exhaust hangers and whatnot. '66 Oldsmobile's Car of the Year. Wow, is that cool? Look at this stuff. Like 38 years loyal service, connecting rod and a mini crank, and that's presented to, that's retirement from Oldsmobile from 36 to 66. Wow, how neat. And the back one's Cliff Bennett, happy retirement February 5th 1981, and he started in 1953. Wow. Get some Oldsmobile dishes. Oldsmobile transaxle manual gearbox. These are what changes your gears. These are your synchronizer rings, so it can just lock things together. Yeah, they got the shifter where you can't move it.
There's three glass panels surrounding it. And if you were looking at the city second or even the third row, you could look up and see the sky as you're going down the road. That idea was stolen from Greyhound. And if you're old enough, you're not, but if you're old enough, you remember the Cena Cruiser. It was the old Greyhound bus. You go about halfway back, take a couple steps.
It's talking about the Vista Cruiser. My friend Dave, the one that lives in Memphis, with all the old cars, his uncle had a Vista Cruiser. They drove it for hundreds of thousands of miles. They lived in Virginia, I think, so it didn't rust out.
Oldsmobile had 30 different models in their lineup. And it was not like today when you walk in and say,
See the the glass up there. There, now you can see the vista roof. There, we're going to go check out the other room.
So that was another bridge.
Yeah, this is pretty neat.
Beauty on the end.
My grandparents been here a few times, but I never came here, and my grandparents only lived about 3 or 4 miles from here.
Especially if it was
Well, I'm wondering if it was a standard station wagon that somebody modified.
the station wagon is a Vista Cruiser and it's a Cutlass. But I'm saying,
No, I meant maybe a 442 station wagon. You can buy a station wagon. Oh, yeah.
you mentioned.
I never realized you'd get them.
Yeah. And the 442 was a standalone model for a couple of years. It was either the F85 or the Cutlass before and after that. It squeezed in the middle there.
A model every 4 years. That was a model 440.
Oh, really?
There, that tells you about the Vista Cruiser.
That model year. The Olds Cutlass Supreme for 30 years was the best-selling mid-sized car in America. and this is 1986
66 Tornado.
Cutlass Supreme Golden Edition.
70.
It's got everything. You know, it's got your rounding T-tops.
Friend in high school that had a 66 Tornado for a beater. It was a blue one. It was this color in one of those cars. That would be just pre-war. Oh wow, the dash is very nice in this car. Well, a room in this thing. Good Lord. Look at this thing. Engine block, wood pattern to make the crankcase cover, which is this piece. That is super cool. Centella ignition. That was common on marine engines, Centella. I think that's how you pronounce it. Suppose this car has a radio in it. It does. That is super cool. They made clear hoods for him for the showroom. I like this one though. Look, it's got some pretty heavy duty meats on it too. This one has a hole in the dash where it had a radio. Maybe it's out being repaired. Probably had tubes in it, you know. My Bel Air's got tubes in the radio, so yeah. These are bolt to the bell housing, so you can pull hydromatics without pulling the. I think that, no, that's part of the torque converter. I take that back because this is a cutaway, but they had these to where you could unbolt the trans from the bell housing, leave the converter in the bell housing, attach the engine, and pull a transmission. But there you go, the inside of a hydromatic. So if I had a choice of any car in here, I'm sure you guys would probably pick something over there, wherever. That one and that one are my two favorite. I like this one too, but I don't know, there's something about that one I really like. And I like the 60 Oldsmobile. 60 Pontiac and 60 Olds I like better than the 59 Pontiac and Olds. I don't know, there's just something about them. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to get down on my hands and knees here and have a gander at the undercarriage. See if there's enough light to... Oh, it's in pretty good shape, but this thing looks like an original. Yeah, that's not been restored underneath, and it's in amazing condition. Yeah, nice. So somebody told me they have a trollabout over here. Yeah, I have a thing for R.E.Olds. So, yeah, it's that light again. Sorry, I don't think you're going to be able to read that. It's an Olds. Does it show up on there? It's a washing machine engine, Briggs & Stratton. Oh, here. New way. $18.99 Olds gasoline engine. That thing whips out a whopping 18 horsepower. Hard to believe a garden tractor can have more horsepower than that, and fraction of the size. Here's the curved dash Olds. What's going to an Oldsmobile museum without a curved dash Olds, right? Let's see if we... I can't see because there's a sign here in the way, but I don't know if we're going to get that little one lunger under there or not. That little pea shooter sticking out the back, does that show up? I guess not. Trying to get the signs so you can pause and read them, but I don't know. So we're making all the Oldsmobiles. This one you can see the little pea shooter. There's the... Yeah, it doesn't show up. I don't have enough light here, but there's the radiator. There's the crank and the chain, and there's the cylinder. But yeah, it doesn't have enough light. Buzz boxes and stuff, more tools, radiator caps, all that. Rio. That just annoys me, the lighting. There's a Rio.
Yeah, it's almost Sunday.
Baby Rio. $1908. Right-hand drive. '21 Olds. Yeah, the light isn't good to get interiors. Duran. Another Rio. Whoops, I'm hitting the camera on things, so sorry about that. That's, I don't know if they'll show up or not. They're kind of, this car's in its original unrestored condition. It's a Rio. $31. Look at the size of this Rio. Good Lord. Thing's as long as a football field. This Rio here, 25 T6 dump truck. That's what they call a speed wagon. Got like a suicide door on it. I have one of those, an aluminum badge sign like what would be on the cab of the truck sitting in my garage. We'll come back and gander at those, you can be sure of that. 40 Oldsmobile. I don't know how long we're going to be here. I'm with a group of people. About 30 of us, so Olds 40 Olds business coupe, 37 Olds. So check this out. Here we go. This has a Tecumseh engine on it. says 1961, but it's got a Tecumseh. It's not a Rio engine. This has a Tecumseh also, or a Lawson. I guess they're basically the same thing. That looks like a Clinton, maybe. It's a two-stroke, maybe a Lawn Boy or something, Power Products. I think that was built by Power Products. Here's a engine like on my trike about. Similar. Revo Lawn. An electric Rio. So here, I'm going to give you this. Try and get the lights there so you can read it without the light reflecting. So that is that. And then this electric comes with an electric cord. That's the box it would have come in. And I would guess this is brand new old stock because I bet it was still in the box, you know. I mean, something that old, they get bashed around. An electric Rio. This is what my engine most likely came off of, was one of these deluxe lawnmowers. The recoil handle's missing. Well, that's even got the grass catcher. I had one of these. I used it for years and years and years. 1951 runabout. Would have said runabout right here. So somebody's repainted this. Mine said runabout right there. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. You remember these, Dave? We bought them both from Eastside Salvagery. We each bought one for the engine. But I use mine as a lawnmower. Trim a lawn. That has a Briggs & Stratton on it. Looks like a WI. I had a Briggs like this, a little fuel line tank mounted like that. And this would have had a lever start that's missing. So this is what they call a trollabout. So now you can kind of see why I got my about name from for trikeabout on my little Rio tricycle. I'll put a photo in it here. But you can see this is a boat, obviously, standing up on end, and you mount the engine in it like so. You get the tag for your numbers, guys. Yeah, pretty neat. So this is from Waterford. Here's the propeller. Comes through the hole in the rudder. And this is what turns the rudder. And here's the Rio snowblower. This has a gear reduction on it. God, these run out the PTO as the cam. So that's already 50 to 1 on the crank. I'm going to put a gear reduction on it. Wow, here's another one. This one looks like it has a Tecumseh or a Lawson or something. Yeah. That one looks well used. Anyway, yeah, so I thought I'd just show, you know, that's why I named the tricycle a trikeabout, because they used about on a lot. Trollabout, runabout, that's a deluxe. You know, so you can kind of see what They were the biggest manufacturer of lawnmowers in the world in the 50s. I don't know if you can read that or not. The print isn't that great on it. That's the Rio plant. Give another look at it. There's lots of neat stuff here, so. That little tiny distributor. Looks like the starter generator drives it. Wow. Rio straight 8. Olds inline 6. That carburetor. Oh, look at that engine's kind of a neat looking engine. Real Gold Comet 6. That's probably was a truck engine. I think these were truck engines, these two. This has an air compressor for the brakes. Looks like it has a, yeah, it's totally a truck engine. There's the oiler for the distributor. Yeah, look at the size of the flywheel. There it is. I have one of those, that exact one, hanging in my garage on the wall. I love this. That would take a whole wall in my garage. But I absolutely love it. Oh my God, it's so awesome. Out of Des Plaines, Illinois. Wow. How cool is that? Yeah, that pumped out some noise. Diamond Rio truck. Let's see what the inside looks like. I can't see it, so we're going to see that together. A stack sticking up there. It's got 2 stacks. It's got a Detroit AV71T. So it's got a turbocharged V8, 71 cubic inches per cylinder. Wow, this thing's only got 80,000 miles. That thing's just broke in. That air filter. Battery box. Wow. And there's that sign from the other side. And 330 pound-feet of torque. This is coupled with the 5-speed manual transmission. All the wheels and stuff. Signs. Park bench is kind of cool. That big giant cigarette lighter. Yeah, they got a bunch of them in here now. I have one of them. I have one of these patches too, like that one. I have to dig it out. I could sew it onto one of my jackets. Heads off that. Side valve engine. It's got some pretty rusty cylinders. I think that thing needs some work. Look at that battery. It's a 6, it says. These bicycles. Wheeling devices extending above the rotor consist of a snorkel for air intake and a snorter for more tool stuff back there.
Weather couldn't stop it.
Bricks were used paving Lansing streets before blacktop. Lincoln block bricks were made in Grand Ledge, Michigan. Grand Ledge is not too far from here. There's a Rio. So Ransom Eli Olds sold his name Oldsmobile to GM. That's why he had to use Rio for when he started his other division. They GM kind of, you know how these corporations do, they don't care about people. That is so cool. There we go. Get it the right side. Yeah, this is neat. What a neat place. All right, I got to go back and see some things I missed. So this is a '32 hearse funeral coach made by Rio. Yeah, there's some neat stuff here. All right, we saw that. Let me get over to the other side here. And change my battery too. I don't know, I love old photographs of that area. So take note, that's there, right? Yeah, I don't think you can read those, but there's Olds, Ransom Eli Olds, Bulldog. Look at that table. Suppose the big cheese sat here. I suspect that's the case. And everyone would set their laptop there, right? Like they had laptops back then. There we go. Yeah, they did. Look at the fancy electronics. All plugs and jacks, and that's exactly what that's for. It's for your laptop. Pretty neat. I just want to show this. I think it's kind of neat. The lectern. It's kind of up against the wall, so it's hard for me to really get a good view of it. And of course, if somebody called, they dialed REO, you'd have to pick up the phone and talk on it. You'd crank to get the switchboard. And that's before my time, so my younger viewers won't even know what I'm talking about when I show that. Yeah, pretty neat. There we go. Saunter around the museum. I highly recommend visiting. Neat place.
Isn't it weird? I mean, the chassis is like a wagon.
All right, we already gandered at all this stuff. There's one on the...
You got a solid front axle, so things are pretty rough when you
I actually saw one of these cruise over the Mackinac Bridge during the St. Ignace, or I guess it was a Straitzer Antique Auto Show. I always called it St. Ignace because it was in St. Ignace, Michigan, in the UP. But they would have a cruise from Mackinac City to St. Ignace over the Mackinac Bridge, which is 5 miles long, and they drove one of those to lead the parade. So it was always fun. I've taken the 59 Chevy on that parade, amongst other old cars I had in the air.
How is it? 34,000 bucks for that, huh?
These were 34,096.
1990 or 96, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They leased these, you couldn't buy these.
Yeah.
So it was a lease program only through the Saturn dealer network.
Yeah.
At the end of your 3-year lease, you couldn't buy it.
Right.
You
Just
could
went
not
to the
buy it.
crusher, did it?
It went
They
into
all
the,
went to the crusher.
less than 100 left.
Yeah.
That was Ford's better idea. I wonder how they got it on a GM.
A question for you is on the 1970 Tornado.
That is super cool.
Seats. I didn't want to walk around.
Yeah, this isn't a glass case, so it's probably not all going to show up. Yeah, it doesn't really. I wanted to kind of show what's what on it. This we had started to come into. Like I say, just hit the pause button. These are behind glass, so I can't really, you get reflections with cameras. So it's hard to video when they're behind glass.
Oh, yeah.
Sparrow Hospital in Lansing. It's named after E.W. Sparrow. Again, you can just pause if you want to take the time to read the little cards. There's old Duran, Olds, and Ford.
He lived to be a pretty old guy. Here. That's R.E.Olds.
And there you go.
So the coaching part can't help but mention the picture body
There we go. There's the R.E.Olds Museum in Lansing, Michigan. Highly recommend a visit. If you like my video on the museum, hit that thumbs up icon. It helps me out. If you like my channel, that 348 engine icon that pops up that powers my bell will help you subscribe. And thank you for taking the time to watch my video.